back home, doing my thing, by myself, got my natural light, ready to go. Dang, I need to clean up in here. Welcome back to Off the Cover, my series where I review books as soon as I finish them. Earlier today, I finished Ernest Cline's Ready Player One, which is his first novel, and is also being made into a movie, so I decided I should read it. And man, I wish I hadn't. I don't even know where to begin, because this book was just a raging dumpster fire of 80s references and self-filleting. Oof. Okay. This book takes place in a dystopian future in which the world is overpopulated and no one wants to live in reality anymore. So they all plug into this virtual reality called the Oasis. And the Oasis was made by James Halliday, who has died before the book begins. And Halliday has left behind a contest for which the prize is all of his worldly possessions, including the ownership of his company, Gregarious Simulations. In order to win the contest, you have to find 3 keys that unlock 3 gates, and everyone starts out with a clue. Anyone who hunts for this prize professionally is called a gunter. I'm not going to go into it, it's a stupid reason. Halliday was obsessed with the 80s, which was when he grew up. He made the contest so that other people would also become obsessed with what he was obsessed with. All of these gunters learn everything they can about Halliday and everything they can about the things that he liked, which were 80s video games and movies and TV shows and music. As you can probably guess, the book is full of both obscure and mainstream 80s references. The writing in the book is subpar, and when Cline realizes that he's going to lose the attention of the reader, he throws in some 80s references and then spends like anywhere from like paragraphs to a page describing the references. I don't know a lot of 80s stuff, but I didn't need as thorough descriptions as he gave, especially because it was really just Cline nerding out about 80s stuff and hoping that we all do too. In his acknowledgments, he says that he hopes that everything he referenced, all the readers of his book will become super into just like him, which I think is weird. You don't have to write a book to show us that you really care about it and try and get like a whole new generation of people into your crappy music taste. Anyways, main character, Wade Watts, just a horrible, horrible person. He's a jerk. No. Not gonna start there. He is not exceptionally attractive or intelligent or charismatic or athletic or anything that would make him be a reasonable protagonist for this novel. The thing that makes him the protagonist is that he really loves 80s trivia and he's good at video games. So you know from the beginning of the book that he's going to win, especially because Cline fills the book with 2-dimensional characters who exist solely to antagonize Wade. Any book that does that is not a book that I should be wasting my time reading, but I finished it because the movie's coming out and I feel obligated. Wade has a best friend, Aech, who he doesn't know anything about, and he also is in love with this woman named Artemis, who he also doesn't know anything about. Artemis is also a gunter, and she runs a blog, and Wade reads the blog, and he falls in love with her for no reason. Because she's a woman, I guess. Whatever. Artemis is the only prominent woman throughout this novel, and even then she still only serves as some manic pixie dream girl for Wade. And when she brings up the fact that like she could be ugly, he's like, oh, but I love your personality, it doesn't matter the package that it comes in. And he goes on to call himself an actual nice guy. And if any woman is watching this, we can all tell you that nice guys are assholes. I'm so angry. Wade has no marketable skill sets, and yet somehow he also knows how to code and to hack. These are all abilities that he somehow gains halfway through the novel, so it's completely unreasonable that he has this skill set that he never used before. I have so many issues with this book, I can't even explain them. There are riddles in the book that only make sense if you already know the answer. The fact that Wade can solve them going off just the riddle itself is completely preposterous. Whenever he does solve a riddle or do anything, Artemis or Aech comes in and is like, oh my gosh, you're so smart. Wade will get himself into a jam and he'll get himself out of it by using this item that he randomly picked up that Cline didn't choose to tell us about. He just says Wade has it the second he uses it. I picked this up on some random quest that I did. I can't even articulate how much I hate this book. These two characters, Daito and Shoto, they are Japanese characters. They are just a huge stereotype. They always talk about honor and they dress their characters in samurai clothes. They use the san honorific to everyone. All famous gunters can have a POV channel where they can just play like TV shows or movies or whatever. Wade just plays a bunch of 80s stuff because what else would he play? Daito and Shoto play exclusively samurai movies. I hate it. Wade, of course, also is just brilliant. He plans all of these immensely complicated things. He breaks into like the highest security facility, and Cline does a horrible job of explaining it. I just have to be honest. Wade is also kind of a jerk. He's super overpowered for really no reason. He just is so rude to everyone. Wade is just Ernest Cline inside of the novel. There's so much angst in this book. You can tell that Cline really had a lot of angst from high school that he just really needed to just hash out. It's just a hot mess. This book was agonizing to read. I hated it. I don't even know what else to say. Because it had a really good concept, I'd give it 2 obscure 80s references out of 5. I just wish I could go back in time and not have read it. I just really read a book in which the author just jacked himself off for 372 pages. I'm so upset I read this book. It's obvious that this book is written by someone who has an axe to grind. And he's grinding it. He's going in. And he's just really doing a number. I have opinions. Those are my opinions. I already know that I'm gonna leave out something super important. But you know, I don't care at this point.